When I first started, originally, I did it because I was at the Young Turks back then.
The Young fucking Turks. Look, I mean, back in the day, I'm not gonna lie, I used to be pretty liberal back in the day. Before the liberals went fucking berserk, went off the reservation. I used to watch the Young Turks, but they got crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. Their takes got more and more fucking left-leaning, more and more extreme. And I had to abandon the left because that shit got too crazy. And this fucking guy is farther to the left than the fucking Young Turks. I can't stand watching this guy, man. There was a time where I watched a little bit of his content, but he just kept getting further and further and further. Like, he wants everybody to be a fucking soy boy.
That's gonna scare people. It's too violent. Biceps?
I have the ears.
How about one of these?
Okay. I like that. Okay.
This fucking guy gets so much goddamn money. It's unfair. And half the stuff he says is wrong.
Again! You fucking idiots! All your like, I feel like when I first saw clips of you way back in the day, like your takes were like way more based.
What do you mean?
Bradley's gonna call him out. This is why I love watching Bradley Martin, bro, because Bradley Martin don't give a fuck. He'll call you out directly to your face.
Have you felt like you had to be more left in like all your stuff?
No. If anything, I got more left now than I was back then.
That's what I mean.
Well, that's what he's saying, you fucking dumb fuck. He's saying you went extreme left.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if a guy like Hasan Piker can make it as a streamer, I can make it as a streamer. I just need clippers. I need clippers. I need supporters. I need to fucking get funnier, get smarter, get more attractive. You can always be thinner, look better. So I got to get on that grind. Fix this fucking mop I have on my head, and I can do it. If this fucking guy can do it, I can do it. I just need some supporters. We need to get better content. That's all. Or am I crazy? You're a grifter, Hasan. That's what he's trying to say. You're a grifter. You have changed all of your fucking perspectives and opinions to fucking virtue signal to the masses.
I didn't like become more cognizant of like the media environment. Like I organically became less transphobic. Yeah. I met trans people.
This fucking guy. And what he's obsessed with this fucking soy boy fucking agenda, man. It's all he talks about. That's why I can't watch him.
Do I care about this? Like, I don't really understand.
Why do you care about it, bro?
Something that I should even worry about. Like,
the fuck?
Whatever, let people do whatever they want. And I think that's like
the virtue signaling is crazy.
The spark in my brain, but it wasn't like it wasn't a deliberate attempt or anything. It was just like a organic thing.
Yeah, organic evolution.
Yeah, but in terms of like saying more left, that I suspect people don't like. Everyone doesn't want war, or at least like people claim that they don't want war, but you know who wants war? Politicians want war. So I think like there's a lot of people.
Is he dumb? The fucking left-wing politicians want war too, bro. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? They all fucking want war, you dumb fuck. The thing is that human beings never change, man. I've said it before. Look, I'm already getting triggered. We're at 6 minutes into the video and I'm already getting triggered. But it pisses me off because it's a lie they feed you. It's a lie they feed you that tells you, oh, these people are this way and this. The politicians, the fucking political class, they are the equivalent of the fucking nobles in the medieval ages. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They're playing their games. They're looking at the chessboard. They're trying to fucking gain resources and power. They don't care if you fucking die. They don't give a fuck. And this fucking narrative that guys like Hasan push about, oh, the right is bad, the left is good. Like, that's bullshit, dude. It's fucking bullshit. You're a stupid fucker if you believe this shit. You can call it a fucking communist system. You can call it a fucking kingdom. It doesn't matter what you fucking call it. It's always going to be a system of people that are making the decisions look out for themselves. They look out for themselves. They don't give a fuck about you. And what pisses me off about Hasan is that Hasan pushes this fucking communism bullshit on everyone. But in reality, if we had that communist system and Hasan was a communist politician, he wouldn't give a fuck about you. You would be living in your fucking hobbit home, eating your fucking generic ass fucking non-nutritious meal the government fucking forces down your goddamn throat, and Hasan would be in his fucking house eating filet mignon. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a parrot. He just repeats stuff. He just repeats talking points. He repeats talking points. This is an episode of Black Mirror. It's an episode of Black Mirror. He is the guy whose job it is to pretend that there's an opposition and to fucking pin the general population against each other based on race, based on their fucking gender, based on the mental illness that's rampant in our fucking culture. This guy's a vulture. He's a vulture. He's a vulture of society. He's a pariah. I told you I was gonna crash out if I watched this fucking video. Look, the thing I was saying last time we watched a video of Hasan's, maybe like 2 months ago, is that the communist system sounds good on paper. When you look at the system on paper, it sounds like a fucking utopia. But when you implement the system in real life, it's slavery with extra fucking steps. If you're living in a system where there's no real money, there's no differentiation between the fucking plumber and the doctor, the lawyer and the garbage man, they all have the same fucking houses. They all have to eat the same fucking gruel. There's no fucking incentives to rise to another level. There's no incentives to work hard because one day you become successful and you are free from the fucking shackles of the system. Then guess what? No one's going to be incentivized. And when no one's incentivized, guess what? Nobody's going to want to do the fucking jobs at the bottom of the fucking pyramid because they are like, what's the point? So then guess what happens? You have shortages of food because no one wants to fucking work in a farm for nothing. And guess what happens after that? There's starvation. And all the people at the top of that fucking system, that communist system, guess where they are? Their kids are studying in other countries. They're eating the best food. They're living it up because they don't give a fuck. If you read 1984, it's a perfect example. In 1984, there was a quote. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like, every revolutionary is a dictator in disguise. Every revolutionary wants to be in charge. They want to topple the system so they can be the one in charge. They can be the ones fucking ruling over everyone else. And Hasan is one of those guys. A guy like Hasan, you can never give him power. You can never give him power because he will fucking push for censorship. And next thing you know it, you'll be in a concentration camp being re-indoctrinated. Cuba's a perfect example. You got Fidel Castro and Che Guevara. And Che Guevara wasn't even a fucking Cuban. This fucking guy wasn't even a fucking Cuban. Going over there, toppling a fucking regime so they can be the ones in charge and they can be the ones making concentration camps and they can be the ones disappearing people. It's always the same system, dudes. It's always the same system. Human beings are animals. No matter what you do, no matter how you paint the fucking system, it's always going to be the same system. There's people that are powerful and there's people that are weak. The way I see it, the system we have right now offers more checks and balances than many other alternatives. And in fact, there should be more regulation. There should be more diffusion of power. If you really listen to what Hasan says and you read in between the lines, he's pro-censorship. DEI is a nice way of indoctrination. They're politely indoctrinating you because they don't have enough power to forcibly indoctrinate you. But if those people had the power to forcibly indoctrinate you, then all of us, this chat, we'd all be in a concentration camp right now learning why we should respect transsexuals.
Whatever.
Either I'm cooking or I'm crazy. You guys got to let me know in the comments, in the chat. I'm telling you guys right now, the whole system is a distraction. When I was younger, I spent a lot of fucking time obsessing over politics, and I realize now that it was a distraction. The only thing that you should be focusing on is making fucking as much money as you can so you can say fuck you to the system. And even then, you still won't be free, but at least you'll have more power. And this is probably going to get me canceled or make me lose a few followers. But yes, anti-Semitism is bad, for sure, 100%. But there's also a reason why it exists. There's a reason why it exists. Just keeping it a buck. If you get kicked out of every single country you've been in from the beginning of time, basically, until now, there's probably a reason why. The problem's probably with you. Like, they're not just victimizing you for no apparent reason at all, just because of your quote-unquote religion. Your belief system is at odds with equality. Like, when you have, like, all of this stuff where you think people are, like, Gentiles and you treat them differently and shit, that is going to always cause friction between you and the general population. I'm not saying that there should be genocide or these people should be persecuted because of their beliefs, but your beliefs are at the root cause of the reason why you are constantly being ousted from the places you're at. The truth is that in this world, on this planet, there's no such thing as good and bad. It just might means right. So that's why I said that the most important thing, if you want to, for your own well-being, your own survival, your own love, to keep a level of autonomy on this planet, is to have as much fucking money, power, and resources as you can have as an individual. So focusing on politics, on stuff that you can't control, is a waste of time. You should be focusing on your health, and on making as much money as you can and on networking as best as you can with the most powerful people you can. He's only smug like this when he talks to people that he thinks are dumber than him. Like when he's talking to Bradley Martin, you see how smug he is? He's just spitting out talking point after talking point after talking point. And obviously Bradley's not a huge political guy. He's not fucking in tune with politics like that. So he's not challenging him that much. But I've seen other interviews with Hasan when he's on with somebody who's actually knowledgeable politically, and he doesn't talk this much. In fact, he starts trolling, or he changes the subject, or he becomes very combative.
It's presented that
because if you guys haven't noticed, on this planet, there's multiple types of people that talk. There's scholars, which barely ever get any type of fucking notoriety because scholars are boring as hell. And then there's commentators that appear to be scholars. Perfect example. Somebody just dropped Neil deGrasse Tyson. Exactly. Like there's real scientists, real physicists that are doing the work. They're doing the work, but when they explain the work, they're really bad at explaining. They're really bad at making it interesting. And then there's commentators like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, Brian Cox that are good at talking, but they're probably ass at actually fucking doing science. They know the basics, but they're not making fucking strides. They're not fucking coming up with new fucking equations or any of that type of shit. They're not discovering anything. They're just yappers. So Hasan is one of these kind of guys. He's not qualified to fucking talk about politics. He's just a fucking guy who has a microphone and a camera and happened to jump on the scene earlier than the rest of us.